Red. We good. There we go. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Man, we just struggle starting on time here on Sunday morning, so we're going to get into it. It is good to see everybody. It is so weird when we don't meet on Wednesdays because I feel like it's been forever since we've seen some of you guys. Everybody have a good spring break? We're good. Some of you went places, some of you didn't. Hopefully you slept in, got to be lazy a little bit. Always good to see you guys. Hey, a couple of things real quick to make sure we all know what's going on. This Wednesday, we will not have Exodus again this Wednesday. So what we do have, if I know some of you all are going to the Colton Dixon concert. So, Will, if you'll pop up that slide for me. Now, remember, did I ever put the website up there? It's not up there, but you can go to fbcbluesprings.org, go to the events thing, and scroll down, click on that concert, and it'll take you to a link to purchase tickets. There's less than 40 tickets left, so if you are still planning on going, you can go ahead and get those if you're going with your family. Now, it's not like a church function, but it is at church, and they are shutting down the rest of the building during the concert. So there's no Wednesday Night Live. There's no Exodus. They need to lock everything off because this is open to everyone around. It is his tour. They just happen to be using our facility for it. So get those tickets. Everything else will be shut down that day, though. So come on out to that concert if you are wanting to go to that. Buy those tickets up, and that'll be this Wednesday. And then we will start back up the Wednesday after that. So we will be back on there very, very soon. The Wednesday after that that's not April, is it? Okay, 29th. So it's not our XL night. That'll be the first Wednesday in April. So we'll have one more Wednesday in between then. That is what's going on this week. We do have Focus. So mid-school and high school students, if you are in Focus, we only have a few more weeks of this study. And I know it's been going on for a while, but I do, please make sure, finish strong with that. If you've been a part of Focus so far, don't miss out over these last few weeks as we kind of finish up. We want you guys to be here tonight. We will start at 6 o'clock. So come on out and join us. We'll have some conversation and stuff going on this evening. Just dealing with Christian sexuality, all of the things going on, taking place in the world. So it's good stuff and good conversations. What are you pointing at? That's a slide. Oh, thank you. There's so many different screens here. And if you are going to Nicaragua, all of our high school students, if you are finishing or you're in 9th grade right now, and you are going to Nicaragua, your deposit is due today. Do not hand me that check. You will make a check, or your parents will write a check, and that will go to Project Hope. And make sure, if you're planning on going to that, you may need to text your parents right now and remind them, hey, are we definitely going to this? Those checks can be dropped off in any of the white boxes upstairs, or you can hand them to Pastor Lee. But that deposit is due today. For those families, if you need to send a reminder to your parents right now, do that, unless they've already turned those in. So get those turned in. This is your deposit that goes ahead and purchases plane tickets and does all of the things moving forward. So if you have questions or anything about that, you need to come find me right after service so I can make sure you're very clear about that. But all of those things, and that's for high school students only, okay? Sorry, mid-school. But that's everything. I do want you guys to do one thing for me real quick, if you choose to, okay? About a week or so ago, we sent out a invite for the YouVersion devotion. And I know some of you were like, hey, are we doing this? Are we doing that YouVersion devotion? And some people that asked me have an invite sent. So I went back and checked, and I'm like, I had 4 or 5 students ask me, but they have an invite on there. I would strongly encourage you, if you're not doing anything right now, like a daily reading, the devotion as a youth ministry that they're going through goes along with our Sunday morning. And so if you can get your phone out for me right now, and leaders, I would encourage you guys to do this too, because I will let all of our leaders know, our students do check, because I hear about it, and they're like, all of these leaders aren't accepting the devotional either. All of our leaders have an invite to that devotional. So you may want to check that real quick right now, because if you haven't accepted it, I hear about it. So They look. So all of it, everybody, go ahead and get your phone now and look at that YouVersion app. This devotional, even if you're doing something different, this one takes like 3 or 4 minutes a day. It's a pretty simple one, but it is really good, and it does go along with what we're doing. And so any of our students, leaders, anybody that want to go along with that, you don't have to accept it just to do it. Like, there, I accepted it. Like, I want you to read it and be a part of it. But if you want to get on there, check that out. Accept that invite. And it's not from me. It's from FSM. It's from First Student Ministry. And just join us on that plan, on that reading. You don't have to leave comments. I know that's the big thing I've heard from a lot of you. Like, I don't want everybody seeing what I wrote. You don't have to leave a comment, then it's fine. But it is good reading. And we did this because after Refuel Weekend, we had about over 100 some odd students say, I want to make reading daily a priority in my life. And so that's why we got that sent out so quick. And so don't lose that focus. If that was you and you're like, oh, I need to be in that, I need to be doing that. So go on that YouVersion. You can do that right now real quick before, and then I'm going to have you put up your phone and just accept that. And just start up with tomorrow. Don't even worry about going backtracking. You can start up with tomorrow's date and just jump right in on that, okay? So if you want to do that, you can do that then. That is all of our announcements that I know of. Okay, I was worried, Will.
I received a flyer on anger management the other day. I lost it.
I had to think about that one for a second. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Will. Just a disclaimer that we say every week. If you're new here wondering what that was about, it's about nothing. It was just something we started years ago, and we just let Will keep doing it. So thank you for that. We're going to do a really quick game. Have we been keeping track of people's scores? I know it's been so all over the place. What's our scores right now? What do you have? Put the slide up there if we have a slide. Do we have anything? There's nothing? I thought we did a game. No, we didn't do a game last week. We'll just leave that. Let's just keep that going. We'll just do guys, girls right now. That's fine. Here we go. So high school guys have 60 million. High school girls, 40 million. Mid-school girls, someone must have done something nice, and I gave you 5 million points. Mid-school guys, you have 0 points. All right. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go. All right, so hey, we've played this game once before, but they came out with some new questions since it's March Madness right now. Anybody fill out a bracket? Anybody doing pretty good on your bracket? No? Okay, all right. So here we go. I need a leader to help out. Any leader can come up here real quick. I got Jonas, come on in. You're on spring break. Come on over here. And Jonas, will you grab that basketball over there? We're going to do this a little bit differently. I feel like last time we played this game, we used a piece of paper, and it did not go well for anybody. I don't know if anybody made a goal. So here we go. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to read a question off. If you get it right, you got 1 point, and then you can go for a shot. All right? If you get a shot, it'll be 2 points. But here's what we're going to do differently, okay? We're going to go from the third row will be 2 points, and then from behind the back row, you'll get 3 points, all right? So 2-pointers and 3-pointers in this, since we're using an actual ball this time. And you're going to take a shot in the trash can. This is Trash Get Ball Trivia. Leaders, here's where I'm going to need your help. You're going to need to make sure you're watching the students. If you know the answer, just jump up, all right? Do not jump up until we finish reading the question. Are you ready? You're gonna hold the trash can for me. That's sorry. I didn't explain your goal. Yeah. Like right there. There. Now you got a back to sport. Okay, now we're good. Now don't move and don't help them, okay? All right, so if you know the answer, stand up. If you get it wrong, your team cannot answer again for that round, though. So if one high school girl stands up and gets it wrong, no high school girls can try again this round, all right? Are we ready back there, Will? What do we got? Okay, let's go to our first question. Leaders, help me out. All right, who won March Madness as both a player and a coach? Dean Smith, Bob Knight, or both? Yes, sir. B, no. Yes. C, yes. Alex, right there. You got to hustle. If you guys can be like, make sure there's a good row here. You going for 2 or 3? What do you want? You're going for 3? 3's behind the back row. You already got 1 point, though. I mean, right there, second row would be 3 points right up. Okay, he's got it. He's got it. Oh, get out of here. You got greedy, kid. You got 1 point. 1 point for high school guys. Let's go to the next question. What is the lowest seed ever to win the NCAA title game? Yes, sir. A, 12th. No! All right. High school guys got to sit down. Who stood up next? He already got that. Yeah, go for it. B. No! All mid-school guys sit down. Yes, ma'am. C is correct. That's amazing. You really know your NCAA titles. You want to go for a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer? She handed you off and you said no? Oh, she's got it. That's a good backboard. Hey, I'm just going to say Jonas didn't even flinch for you. All right, ladies? Like, he stood it there. All right. 1 for high school girls, 1 for high school guys. Let's go to the next one. What do we got? What year was March Madness first hosted by a single state? What? First host? I don't know. Oh, all of the tournaments were in one. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. B. No! Was he next? All right, they're going over there. Yes. A. No! C. Yeah! All right, go for 2 or 3. 2 is like right at the second. You can step up right there. All right. This is a solid spot right here. If you want. I know. Go for it. You got it. You got it. Oh, he went underhand, granny style. All right. Nothing for you. 1 middle school, 1 high school girl, 1 high school guy points. All right. Go to the next one. What was the first team with 20 Final Four appearances? North Carolina, Duke, or UCLA? Over here? What, far? All right. Yes, sir. B. No! All high school guys sit down. I think it was, Everett. C. No! Yes. Is it A? Yes, it is A. All right. All right, man. Hey, you make 1 shot. You girls. High school girls are in the lead with 1 point extra, though. All right, so 2-1-1. Has mid-school girls done anything yet? 0. I actually knew the answer. I just wanted to say it out loud, Lily. All right, here we go. Lily's about to get a tech card. I need a red card up here on Lily. All right. Next question. Who was the only coach to win both? Whoa, Macias. A. Is it A? It's A. All right. He read it fast. I'm going to let it. Next time, let me finish the question. Macias, come on up. You going for 3 or 2, Macias? You going for the 2-pointer? All right, here we go. For the lead. Oh, underhand. Oh, my goodness. All you got to do is get 1 right, Sophia, and you can make a 3 and win the game here. All right, here we go. High school guys have 2. Mid-school girls have... I know, but what do mid-school girls have again? I can't hear you. Oh, 0. Okay, here we go. Next question. What team has the most NCAA tournament appearances? Yes. North Carolina. No. Now I'll give it C. No. B. Sophia. Here we go. All right, All-Star. Oh, she's going for 3, mid-school girls. She's trying to watch our lights, please. All right, you got to. Oh, she's got it. She's clutch. We'll be charging that to your mom's preschool account right there. New TVs brought to you by Preschool Ministry. All right. Is it on? I've never seen that before. Way to go. -1 point for mid-school girls. All right, here we go. I'm kidding. No, we'll give you one. We'll give you one. We're back. Good job, Jonas. All right. 1 point for Jonas. Here we go. Next question. Make sure I read the first question. Who is the only player to win the Final Four MVP despite not winning the national title? He stood up early. Right there, yes. C. No, sit down, I think, with Marius. B. Yeah, Marius. Uh-oh, oh, Marius with the... I mean, he's not moving, is he? Is it? Okay, here we go. Here we go, next question. Which team has won the most national titles in the history of the NCAA tournament? Wasn't finished reading the question. No, sit down. I didn't finish reading the question yet. I finished now. All right. Yes, race. C. Yeah, all right. Just nice and easy right there, buddy. You got it, you got it. We're all going underhand. Why are you guys all going underhand? Just, man, Coach Flip, you guys are killing them back there. You're killing them. All right, here we go. What's our score right now? We got to wrap this up here in a minute. High school guys, 3. High school girls have 2. Mid-school girls have 2. Oh, mid-school guys have 2. 1. Okay, all right, they have 1. Girls, all you need to do is get an answer and make a 3-pointer, and you're right in there.
They get an answer, make it 2, I think they win.
Hey! All right. Here we go. What's our next one? Don't get up until I finish reading it. What are the chances that someone could correctly pick the winner of every game in the tournament? Jackson. A, that is right. 1 and 9.2 quintillion. He was finishing the T. He's fine. Oh! Nice. All right, so that's 3 points for mid-school guys now. They got 1, and then they made a 2 shot. That's 3 points for that question. It's 3 extra. So their total now is 5. Yeah. Guys, let me finish. A lot of aggression going on over here, all right? I like the energy here. All right, so mid-school guys are in the lead now, right? With 1 by 1. Okay, here we go. I thought it was 4. Okay. Will's got it. Next question. Since seeding began in 1979, which team has been seeded first the most? Luke. North Carolina. That is right. All right, Luke. Here we go. Just going for that nice and easy too. Oh. Too hard. All right. Let's go. How many more are there left? Okay, we're going to do 2 more. We'll do 2 more. All right, here we go. 2 more. It's anybody's game if you make a 3-pointer here. What do we got? Which city hosted the most NCAA championship games in the 20th century? B. No. Who was that? A girl? Someone? All right, they're saying back there. One of you give me an answer. A. No. Who is next up? They're pointing over there. They said the guys. Todd? Alex. C. Oh my gosh, Alex, that's incredible. You got it right. Hey, how many points do high school guys need to take the lead? They're down 3. A 3-pointer would put them in the lead. Counting that point, that's 1, and then he needs to make. I can't hear. He needs to what? This will tie? A 3-pointer would put them in the lead. Okay.
2 to tie, 3 to win.
Go for it. Nice and even. Ah! All right. So, who's tied now? High school guys and mid-school guys, this is your question. Here we go. Last one. Leaders, help me out so they don't yell at me. Whenever you're ready. Which year saw exactly 7 players from the Final Four get drafted into the NBA? Luke. Hey, that is right, Luke. That's for the win, right? That one? That one. If you want. All right, well, we're going to let you shoot just to, you might as well go for 3 just to really rub it in there. Let's go, Luke. Let's go, Luke. He's going to hit a light. Off the rim, off the rim. All right. Hey, mid-school guys are our winners. Give them a hand. Give Jonas a hand, everybody. Way to go, way to go, way to go. I'll just leave it there. Okay. This game, I mean, it's such a simple game, but you guys get so heated over it. It's oh, Lily. All right. Hey, go ahead and check out the bumper real quick, and we're going to jump into our teaching here. If we can play that bumper. All right. Hey, we're back. It's good to see you guys again. It's been a while. We want to talk today. We started up this series last week about the whole thing's titled "Before I Go," and we're really just looking at these last few teachings and the things leading up that lead us up to Easter, and how Jesus was interacting with people, how he was interacting with his disciples and those around him. So what I want you to do real fast, since we already did the YouVersion app, I want everybody to go and put their phones away, put their phones up, and follow along on the screen. So if you have your phone out right now, that means put it away, all right? Put it up. Okay, so we started out last week just looking at when Jesus had them all at the Last Supper and why we do this whole, like, the bread and the wine. I mean, we don't give you guys wine when we do communion. Like, there's a whole legal thing about it. But why Jesus did this and why the Passover meal and why we, the whole Last Supper. And we looked at the Passover and why that tied in so closely. And what Jesus was saying was, this is how we used to celebrate as Jewish people, but Jesus was pointing them out and saying, but this is what I'm about to do for you. And so this blood that will be spilled will still offer forgiveness, but it'll be the final sacrifice. And so Jesus was reminding them and teaching them of, this is what's about to happen. So that they didn't know Jesus was about to get arrested. They didn't know Jesus was about to die on a cross, but he was setting it up for them to understand, when I die, I will die as a sacrifice for all of you. And they didn't quite catch it then, but it would make sense. And he was just tying in how that went so similarly with the whole Passover feast that they were celebrating. And so we talked about that last week, and today we're going to continue and kind of look what happened after that Passover meal and what Jesus continued to teach his disciples and why these things were so important. Now, one of the things that we're looking at here today is this idea of unity. And we kind of have this culture where, and it's not a bad thing, and I want to make sure like how we teach this doesn't get confused. Even in this room, there are lots of different people, and you come from lots of different backgrounds, lots of different places. You have lots of different ideas, lots of different things that you like. You might be really similar to some people and like, oh, we like the exact same things. And then there might be people that are like, oh, like we have nothing in common at all. Like, there might be some of you that, like, I'm a dog person. Like, I love dogs. And there might be some of you that need Jesus more and you like cats. And, like, that might be your thing where, like, you haven't fully allowed the love of Christ to overflow into your heart, and you really love cats a lot. But those of you that are walking good with God, you're dog people. And we pray for cat people. It's okay. But there's definitely difference of opinions. But that's all right. And here's what tends to happen. I know. First, let me just say, I don't hate cats. I just don't care about. Hey, no. I like cats as much as cats like people. I don't care about them. Your cat doesn't really care about you. That's all I'm saying, okay? Now, fact. It's in the Bible. If you don't believe me, read the whole Bible and then come talk to me. Now, I don't want to go off the whole thing of that. But here's the thing. Here's what we need to be careful about. And here's where having differences is good, and that's fine. But here's where we have grown as a culture, where we have started to become where we say, well, we are different, and I don't like what you think, and well, I don't like what you think, and so we just begin to just bash and hit and like just think that, well, what they believe and how other people might have difference of opinions, and I have my opinion, and now we hate each other. And we live in this weird thing now with just media and how you can comment on everything, and everybody has an opinion, and everybody thinks they're right. And it's okay to have these differences, but it becomes so aggressive so quickly over things. And we like, it's funny, we can joke about some stuff here, but it's also so crazy how you can say one thing and it completely like just starts this whole fire over something that's like, how do you have an opinion over that? I crack up because there is this ongoing battle between people's opinions over which trash company was better in Grain Valley for a while. And someone would comment on this Grain Valley page on Facebook about their trash service, and then like 500 people would just like attack this. And I'm like, I didn't know there were so many opinions over trash companies that come and pick up this stuff. But man, people get fired up over it. And it's like, I will fight you. This is my company. No, this place is trash. I'm like, man, and it's so crazy to me because we can have these differences. And it happens everywhere. You see it in your schools. You see it, even like discussions. You may see it in your house. And we sometimes see it play over into churches. We see it take place everywhere. But we also know that we tend to be like, we're drawn to people that have our similarities. We're drawn to people that like the same things that we like. We're drawn to those things. Like if you've been doing something for a long time, sometimes you can even spot like, oh, I bet that person likes the same thing as me. Maybe they kind of dressed similar. Maybe you heard them listen to some music that was similar, or you see them at places, or they're just your friends, and we kind of like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having groups of people that are similar in interests just like you. But what can become dangerous, though, is when those similarities become something that we're like, if anybody doesn't like what we like, we don't really want them with us. They're not in our group. They're not who we are. And sometimes those things that should be good, like I don't want everybody to be just like me. The world can't handle a perfect place. What I want, you guys, I think you're like, wait, what did he say? I saw one person back there like, and everybody else just kind of stopped. I was totally being dumb, all right? It's a joke. I wouldn't want everybody to like me. It would be a disaster, all right? But we are drawn to people like that, and that's fine, but we don't need it. But I also like people that are so much different than us. I like hanging out with people that are different than don't just have my thoughts and everything. And we need to be careful with this. And so what we're looking at here today real fast before you guys go to your small groups is this last point of teaching where Jesus reminds them of how important unity is and how that unity needs to be built off of love and what that can look like to other people. And so he begins praying and teaching with his disciples. And I want you to think about this real quick. And Gemini, we got to do this like quickly, but not like chaotically. But if you could pray for one thing right now, just give me one thing. You're like, if I could pray for one thing and it would happen right now, what would that prayer be? If like, all right, God's going to give me any, like, pray, he's going to answer my prayer, and it's not like a genie in a bottle, so don't be like, I wish I was Superman. Like, one real prayer, what would that prayer be? Somebody give me something. Yes, ma'am. Stop global warming. See, that's a hot topic. I don't want anybody. I already feel like some people are like, well, actually, how do we know? All right, we're like, I don't want to go in. Okay, so that's her prayer. That's okay. Let's not get into like a big debate over anything. All right, yes. All right, pray for a certain friend to come to Christ. Give me one other. No guys are praying, apparently. All of our girls, but guys are like, I don't know. Yes, sir. World peace. You guys are. Oh, my gosh. This is like contestants in a beauty pageant right here. This is what this was. All right. Now, game's not real. If you could pray for anything that would happen this week. Marcus, you got something. Well, if you could, like, it's going to happen. Whatever ask God, what would you pray? Race is giving them ideas. It's going to be. What do you got? Give me one thing. Why do we always go to we go straight to villains? I don't understand every time we talk about these things. Marcus, I don't think you understand what nuclear missiles are if you think you're going to hold 10 of them in your basement. All right. Huh? Oh, Call of Duty. Oh, you just want them added on. He just wants to be good at video games. He's not trying to take over the world. Okay, fair enough. All right, stop. Now, let me change the question. You have a week to live, and you could pray for anything, for anybody. Is it going to be the same prayer? I got a week to live. I'm going to get that Call of Duty. You got 1 week to live, and you could pray for anybody or anything, and not like, don't go like, keep it some sort of personal thing. Nope. Yes. Shh. Guys. Okay. For like all of their families of these friends, like for them to know who Jesus is. Okay. Now, we'll stop right there. Martine, as much as I wanted to hear what you said. Okay. Hey. So, 1 week and 5 seconds later, Martine's dead, and you wasted that prayer. You said longer than a week. You lasted 5 more seconds. All right. So here we go. What we're looking at here is Jesus praying for these people. But you see the prayers of somebody who is going much bigger than just simple daily prayers. And I want you to hear what Jesus was praying for and kind of think about why this matters. He says in John chapter 17, as he's praying, he says, I'm praying not only for these disciples. Is it on the, yeah. I'm praying not only for these disciples, but also for all who will ever believe in me through their message. And we see who Jesus is praying for here. When he's praying, I'm not only praying for these disciples, but I'm praying also for all who will believe in me. And when I read this, it's such a crazy reminder that as Jesus was praying and these disciples were listening to his prayers, as John recorded these words, Jesus is literally had prayed for you, which is crazy thought. The fact that as he was praying there, he was thinking of you. We're like, well, how could Jesus have been thinking of me? Because, all right, remember, this is God in flesh. He's praying for you. He's praying for any believer that would come to know him. So he's praying as his last, like he's praying in front of his disciples, his last week on this earth. And he's like, I'm praying for everybody that will ever believe in me through this message. And so then we get to see, is like, all right, we know who he's praying for. What, though? If Jesus is praying these last few prayers in front of the disciple, what was Jesus praying for? And we go on to verse 20 here, and he says, I'm praying not only for these disciples, but also all for those who believe in me through their message. I pray that they will be one. I pray that they will be one, just as you and I are one. And we're praying to God, as you are in me, Father, and I am in you. And may they be in us, so that the world will believe you sent me. I have given them the glory you gave me, so that they may be one as we are one. I am in them and you are in me. May they experience such perfect unity that the world will know that you sent me and that you love them as much as you love me. And I love what he's praying here. He's praying like, I pray for these disciples. I pray for these people. I pray as the church begins. Remember, there was no Christian church yet. He's just praying that as the church would begin, as the church would start, may they be unified. May they be as one. And as the church grows, as it becomes from, 15 to 20 to 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 to millions of people who would come to be believers, he's like, I pray that they would stay as one. See, it's really easy to be unified when you have 10 people, all right? You got 10, even then it's tough, all right? It's tough even with 10, but as it grows to hundreds and thousands, disunity can take place, and it can happen quickly. And so his prayer is, may my believers, may people that fall and understand this relationship that they have with God, may they be unified. But we need to look at, why was that such a big deal? Why would he pray for unity? Because if you've ever seen disunity take place, it can happen quickly, and it can get mean really fast. People can get defensive of what they feel. People can get defensive about maybe something that they took in the wrong way. And it can become hurtful. And it starts to rip at people. If you've ever been in an argument, even just joking around with your friends, the first thing you do is find out which friends believe what I believe. Okay, they're on my side, and now we're against this person. Even if you're just joking around, even if you're just talking about a movie, you're like, oh no, that movie was great. Oh, you love that movie. See, you're wrong, and you start joking about that. But if it's not just a joke and one person takes it serious, then you start to see friends. And you've probably seen this as high school students by now, or even as mid-school students. Those friend groups become torn in disunity. And Jesus knew, as believers, if you start to become hateful towards each other, if you start to get ripped apart by one another, by people who say, man, we are supposed to be overflowing with the love of Christ, and you become disunified, then that's going to show a world something completely different than what God had intended. And so that's why his whole point is may the world that know you sent me, that let me go back. May they experience such perfect unity that the world will know that you sent me and that you love them as much as you love me. And so Jesus is making sure they understand, when a world sees believers loving each other, when a world sees believers who care about one another, and that's overflowing into the community around them, that's going to be something attractive. And it was. We see in Acts, after Jesus died, after the resurrection, after all this stuff, how thousands of people were coming to the church because they're like, this is a place that loves people. This is a place in a culture where women were just kind of, on the low totem pole, but the church was treating them as equal in love. This was a church that was treating people of different races and ethnicities as something beneath them, but not in the church. The church was like, no, we are unified because you are my brother in Christ. This was the church, as the early church was growing, that it did not matter about how much money was in your bank account, how little or how great, when that wasn't taking place in the Roman culture at the time. But there was something different in the church where they walk in, they don't get seated by different spots depending on their, power and their culture or their popularity. They're just together. And this is what Jesus is trying to make them understand. When then you are unified and you are spending time in a relationship with Christ and it is overflowing to those around you, people see a difference. But if you are a person, a bunch of believers that are fighting, that form these little groups and outside and just kind of make people not feel welcome, you're going to show them that too. And so it's so important. It's so important that you show love as believers towards each other so that then it can overflow to other people. And I love that final, that verse there, that the world will know that you've sent me because that you love them as much as you love me. And he's just praying to God, may they have unity so that the world will know. And really it all comes down to a heart issue. See, you can disagree with someone, but if your heart's in a bad place, your disagreement's going to turn into anger. So you don't have to be the same as people to still be loving towards each other. You could still have these differences in your backgrounds and in your beliefs or what you have and still show love to other people. And even within the church, you can still have disagreements, but when it comes down to it, hopefully your heart is, that's still a person that loves Christ. And we're going to make sure we're unified to show other people that they are loved as well. And so when Jesus had this final prayer, he could pray for anything for them. His big prayer was, may they continue to move as one. May they show unity. And I think it's such a huge thing, not only back then, but when you look at our culture now, it's still so relevant. It's still so spot on that we still live in this manner. And sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it is difficult when you might have such completely different backgrounds or completely different ways of life to love other people in that same way. And you don't have to be best friends. Like, unity just means, man, you're not doing anything you are to put walls up against other people, but you're showing them who Christ is and showing each other as believers who Christ is so the world may see that is what God's love is. And so I love that idea, and I think it goes so much in our worlds today, and it's so relatable. And so I want to give you guys some time in your small groups just to talk about some of this stuff and just kind of talk about it, ask questions, answer each other, and discuss how and why unity is so important and what Jesus is really trying. He wasn't just like, hey, let's just all get along. Like, why was he saying that, though? So I'm going to pray and let you guys go ahead and break off into your small groups. God, I thank you for our students. Thank you just for having fun in here today and for looking at your word. And God, just for that prayer, like you prayed for us. You prayed for us in this room. And you prayed that we would be as one. And God, that's such an important thing. And we know it's important for unity in our families. You know it's important in our friendships. But man, even more so, just so much within our church of loving each other. And hopefully that's what other people see is like, how can this group of people that have so many different backgrounds love each other? It's because of what Jesus did for us. And God, we pray that that can be attractive to other people to know, man, it's not because we're different, it's where we're special. It's because we have a God that loves us and is real in our life. We thank you for that, God. Amen. All right, guys, go ahead and break off in your small groups and have a great morning.